It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NBA.
Such a big ovation for you. Was there something? That was loud.
Chicago, I don't know. Well, you know, most of the people that went to Duke are from New Jersey, New York, so.
Well, they also didn't see the future coming, so they were cheering kind of preempt. Sorry, I apologize.
Wow. Hey, listen.
Wow.
The guy was a unbelievable talent. You know,
He was okay in college. He was okay. He was okay.
And his career trajectory would have been a lot different if he didn't like motorcycles. Yes, that's on record. I wrote a book about it. Yes. I try to beat everybody to the punch.
I guess everybody that goes to Duke isn't that smart. Wait, he wrote a book about it. I'm agreeing with him.
No, if you can't be that smart if you write a book. But anyway.
It's Richard Jefferson and Kenny Smith taking shots at Jay Williams' NBA career in the motorcycle wreck. All part of draft night. Now the players are scattered, PK. AJ Dybantsa has gone to Washington. He's going to wear the number 4 because he used to wear number 3. Because C-U-Z. Because he used to wear number 3, and he was the number 1 pick, and he added it up, and he got 4.
Yeah, couldn't care less. Numbers mean nothing to me.
Clippers selected, I don't even know how to say his name.
Wagner.
Narcissi Noy.
Well,
Narcissi Goy. With the 57th overall selection in the NBA draft, he's going to play for Auburn this season. It's the draft and stash move. Used to do it with European players. Now, Auburn will be doing it with the Clippers. Phoenix Suns restricted free agent Mark Williams will re-up in Phoenix. 3 years, $38 million to stay with the Suns.
Thank goodness.
Is that going to help Kessler sign? Is that setting the stage, the market? I mean, Kessler will get more. But does it still help slot him? Al Horford suiting up for a 20th NBA season. 2 years, $14 million with the Warriors. He's declining a $6 million player option and taking 2 years and 14.
Smart move.
More deals coming as we move towards July. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college basketball.
Less than 24 hours after the NCAA Division I cabinet approved the new 5-for-5 eligibility model rules, a group of 15 college players filed a lawsuit in an Ohio State court claiming the new age-based model unfairly shuts them out of further competition. They're part of the 2022 recruiting class, and they want one more year. So that didn't take long. Straight to the courtroom. Will this hold up? Last time we were talking about something like this, you went straight to, what about judge shopping? I wonder why in Ohio State court.
Oh, because everybody in Ohio is rigged. Low character people.
Just get straight to your loathing of Ohio State and the Buckeyes. Michigan star guard Elliot Cadeau plans to remain with the Wolverines, even though Dusty May has taken off the Dallas Mavericks. He's the most outstanding player of the Final Four, and he will be back in Ann Arbor. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NFL.
I think one of the things that surprised me was I was talking to Drew. This was before last season. He was like, how old are you again? I was like, I'm 37. He was like, you might have your best 5 years of your career coming up, you know? Yeah. And I was like, I never really thought about it that way. You're taught as a player in this league, it's a young man's game. And the older you get, you're just kind of doing everything you can to try to stay up to par with everybody else. And Drew saying that kind of lit a fire under me and, gives you a little bit of belief that maybe an old guy can still go out there and spin it around a little bit.
That's Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford. Late 30s and inspired by Drew Brees. You buying it? Quarterbacks in their late 30s? Playing at a high level?
Across the board, no, but there's going to be exceptions to everything.
Drew Brees did go till 40, obviously. Tom Brady went till 45. Aaron Rodgers is up there in age. Not having his best 5 years, but still being pretty good. Chicago Bears quarterback Caleb Williams is one of those young guys. He attempted to trademark the word Iceman, but it's been denied by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. The initial denial not due to NBA Hall of Famer George Gervin, but a result of likely confusion in a trademark filed back in 1988 by a footwear company for insulated boots. So
we're leaving out ABA too. We just went NBA.
You're right. He was in both ABA and NBA. And the NFL sets the draft for Washington, D.C. April 28th next year. They're going to D.C. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Crow Armstrong lines one down the right field line. Fair ball. It'll roll all the way to the corner. Shaw around third, digging for home. He scores. Pete Crow Armstrong, RBI double. And the Cubs take the lead, 4-3 over the Mets here in the 10th.
Mead off the line at third. The pitch, swing and a high drive. Deep left field, on its way. Back to the wall. Lyle, it's out of room. It's gone. And it's happened again. Harper this time. Bryce Harper puts the Phillies on top. 7-5 in the top of the ninth.
Now the pitch. There it goes, deep in the air, straight away left, all the way back to the wall goes Meisner, and Junior has hit the D-ring, and it's a 3-homer game. It's a 3-run home run, and the Rays have a 13-0 lead. What a day to remember at Tropicana Field.
Tampa Bay goes on to beat Kansas City 13-2. Junior Caminero, 3 homers, drives in 6 runs, and Tampa Bay rolls. You also heard your Phillies, PK. That is 3 games in a row with a home run in the ninth to win the game.
Yeah, I was watching that game on the package there. They're down 5-0. 2 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, and then 5 in the 9th. Harper going oppo. He went oppo with the velo.
Oppo with the velo.
Yeah.
Opposite field.
And
oppo.
then he ran as he's going between first and second, stuck up his finger. Some say it was the middle one to flip off the right field crowd who was chanting bleep Bryce Harper. He says it was his ring finger because he used to play there, obviously. He left as a free agent several years ago now because unbelievably he will turn 34 in October.
How do the kids grow up so fast, PK? How does that happen?
Yes. That really is an unbelievable one, as someone had seen him before puberty, literally. And to think, and he used to play in town a lot.
Yeah, he was a Vegas kid, so he'd be up here.
Yeah, he played with the local team that they have in the summer, and so he's a guy who likes the moment. That's for sure.
He's been in Philly now longer than he was in Washington. That seems hard to believe, but nonetheless. Also there, the Cubs winning again. They sweep 4 from the Mets, 10 of 13.
Yeah,
but
suck.
The Mets do. And also in this stretch, they took 2 of 3 from San Francisco and 2 of 3 from Colorado. So they've definitely been beating up. Actually, I guess they got another win from Colorado to start the streak. They did split 2 games with Toronto in this streak, but mostly they've been beating up on bad teams in this stretch.
I would like to see Pete Crow Armstrong. Too bad it wasn't Pete Crow Allen Armstrong. Then you could have the PC2A.
You're appealing to a very small number, very small segment of the audience of that joke.
Yeah, but to you.
I am part of that small segment of the audience, and there might be 1 or 2 more randos out there, but it's a small segment of the audience. That'd be the forerunner to the Big West, and they changed their name in the late 80s. So that's that joke's almost 40 years old.
That was UNLV, man.
It was, yeah.
In their heyday, no less.
Yeah. I think they changed that 86, 87, somewhere in there. Not sure. Yeah. Good work, PK. Nice. Good by you. All right, anything else you like there in the Major League Baseball games? I hit the big ones?
Not so much the games, although the Padres and Dodgers are opening up a series this weekend, so we'll see if they can make some headway there. That'll be a sold-out stadium 3 nights in a row. And then this the contracts, maximum 5 lengths for 5 years for free agents. They're switching teams.
Reading that story, I just reflected back on you referencing, I don't know what it was, sometime earlier this week, like, I'm going to enjoy baseball now. How much of next season is going to be missed? Like, they were talking NBA salary cap language right there, and that's the kind of stuff that...
Here's what they're going to do.
Irritates baseball players.
They're going to have to couch it in a way that there's some form of salary cap, but they don't call it that. So that allows the players' union to save face, and then the owners continue to give in on stuff that really doesn't matter. So players say, well, we got this concession and that concession. But I think the key here is, like, the last time they had this, you see the prominent players speaking. They're like the board of supervisors, so to speak, whatever their titles are. Well, they're going to get the big money. So what MLB is going to try to do, the ownership, is they're going to try to sweeten the pot down low as much as possible. Because what that happens is the average career is basically 4 or 5 years or so.
Split, the divide, yeah.
So the last time they did this, the union leadership voted no. Then they throw it out there, and the majority of the players, they're not going to get the $20+ million deals.
What do I care about your 12-year contracts?
They want to get as much money however long they're in, which is a short span of time, so they can profit. So then what happened is the union leadership, the board or whatever you call it, they voted to reject it, but the rank and file voted to accept it, particularly as it goes on. The longer it goes on, the less those guys want it to go on. Now, the ones making the huge money, they can withstand it going on. I think that's how it's going to end.
And
when remains to be seen.
That is how it's going to end, and that is also how it is starting. I think you're spot on. It's divide and conquer. The players, 8 to 26 on the roster aren't making close to what 1, 2, and 3 are making. It's just, you can pull up any team salaries. It's night and day. I think you're totally right about that. They've got a new $100,000 bonus to any player starting the year with fewer than 2 years of Major League service. There's a great clause that's there specifically to divide and conquer. There's 178 players with less than 2 years of service who would receive that $100,000 in what they call it a pre-arbitration pool. So the owners are like, that's 178 votes. How many more votes do we need? How many more can we buy off?
Yeah. And so that's how it will get settled. And for baseball folk, and not just baseball folk, the economy in Florida and Arizona relies on it heavily. There's a lot of things at stake here.
A lot of tourism in March, a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
A lot of the gig economy. You're going to go out and take tickets or do the ushering or sell the sodas and the peanuts walking through the station or through the stadium. Yeah, all those people have a stake in this.
Restaurants that surround the ballparks.
Yep.
I went to my first Florida spring training game this year, and it's the same thing.
Of course, right.
The number of I had a Philly shirt on because we were obviously on vacation. My wife packed me a Philly shirt, and so it was a decent walk from the parking lot, which was a field, to the stadium. It was the Astros complex in West Palm Beach. And I must have had 30, 40 people. Oh, where are you from? I'm just a fan who has a shirt.
But isn't it like Arizona and Gonzaga basketball where people, they've got their team, they're living in a cold weather place for Gonzaga, and they're going to travel with their team to Vegas for a conference tournament or wherever the mountain. They're changing leagues now, but they've been going to Vegas for conference tournaments, and then they go off to the NCAA tournament. So Phillies fans or Mets fans or Orioles fans or whoever, they're flocking to Florida for a week in March.
It will break. It's just a question of how much collateral damage is along the way, and that's the way it'll break.
Major League Baseball Players Association proposed a ban on all forms of prop bets on individual players to help combat harassment from disgruntled gamblers. Be interesting to see where this goes because a lot of people are making a lot of money off gambling, and they are going to lean hard to have this not happen. The players are going to be able to get some sentiment here because the stories are brutal, and you got to have sympathy for some of what you're hearing as far as abuse they're taking at the ballpark or abuse they're taking on social media. I mean, they're betting on every at bat, and players are still going to make outs 7 or 8 times out of 10.
Oh, yeah. I think they can bet on every pitch practically.
Yep.
I've made a lot of money that way.
Bees lose to Albuquerque 8-1. They will play again tonight, 6:20. Tony Parks on the call. KSL Extreme and 102.7 HD2 have the game.
DJ, do you think I can afford the Maserati?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the prop bets.
DJ and PK.
To the back post. Knocked down. It's in. It's another early goal. It's Austin Trusty's first career goal for the United States. Man down for the U.S. Ball's knocked down. Follow-up shot is a goal. It's Sebastian Berhalter who ties the game, and he wants more. Chance for a cross. Comes back to the top of the box. Now it's clipped in at the backside.
United States loses their last game in pool play. Doesn't affect anything in the draw going forward. Does it affect momentum or confidence? I wouldn't think so, but you can argue that forever. They win the group. They're going to play Bosnia on Wednesday in the round of 32.
Why did he say the Turkey IA group might be going home tomorrow?
They are going home.
Then why not say they are going home?
Yeah, I don't know. Because they are. They were eliminated before the game started.
No, why say might?
Don't know. You have to ask John.
John who?
John Strong. That's called. Who said that? Germany lost to Ecuador 2-1. Germans also were all locked in there. Not a big deal to them, but a very big deal to Ecuador. Today, more games. Norway and France. Probably the marquee game today. Spain is playing Uruguay as well.
Hey, do you agree with Skip Bayless?
What did Skip Bayless say?
Bayless?
What did Skip say?
Still the craziest thing about soccer is the announcers and in turn the viewers aren't sure how much stoppage time is left in the game. Imagine watching a down-to-the-wire NFL game in which you aren't exactly sure how much time is left and waiting for the refs to wave their arms. Why can't they fix that?
They could. They choose not to. They're trapped in tradition. And it is crazy. And they could easily do... You can hook up the ref with the thing and they can stop the clock remotely and all that. And I assume they're going to do that one day. And I've asked people, I've asked Pablo about it before, and he's like, yeah, it feels like it's coming, but there's tradition. Like, well, they went to 5 subs, and now they're doing water breaks in the middle of every game.
Hydration breaks.
Okay. So
try commercial breaks.
So why not?
That's fine.
Why not just stop the clock? I mean, why not?
Yeah, I can remember when you could stop a clock. Yeah. I mean, because you're going to have, in the course of a game, upwards of 40 guys rolling on the grass or the surface in agony.
And now you got hydration breaks.
So look, click.
Stop it. I know.
I just have
trapped in tradition.
Mary in the scoreboard.
I feel like they should.
Clock.
I feel
Stop.
like I was arguing with Steve Klauke a decade ago about how long it took pitchers to throw the ball. They're just holding the ball. Get on with it. Well, you can't have a clock in baseball.
He has to just take a shot at baseball. Soccer boy has to take a shot at baseball.
They are.
I knew it.
They are twins. Those two sports.
They are twins.
Yes.
Your father just rolled over again.
Those two sports rely.
Twins.
The history and the tradition so important in those two sports. You can't do it because they haven't done it for more than 100 years. As a matter of fact, they do.
Which flag?
The stripes and the stars. Not the stars and the stripes.
The stripes and the stars.
Well, because the wind is blowing from the north.
Soccer and baseball in the U.S. are twins. In your dreams, buddy. In your dreams.
In the regard that they rely on 100+ years of history and tradition.
Not no more.
And the purest.
You live in the past.
I know.
You live in the past.
I think they'll do it. And they're slowly, bringing in cameras. Bringing in cameras and replay.
We don't live in the past.
Bringing in hydration breaks. I think they're going to do it. They haven't done it yet. And they should.
Twins. Today is ruined.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag NHL.
First round of the NHL draft tonight. And then rounds 2 through 7 are all day Saturday. Draft is in Buffalo, New York. Sabre fans can enjoy that. Mammoth have the 19th overall pick. Our NHL Draft Roundtable and first-round coverage on the Zone begins at 4 o'clock at JCW's in American Fork. That's what's trending. It's brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. All right, coming up next, question of the day. There are rumors. What are the Celtics going to do? Do the Jazz want in on this? We will get to that. David Locke will be here at 8:30. Brendan Hayward, 14-year NBA veteran, current NBA TV and college basketball TV analyst, will join us at 9 o'clock right here on The Zone. Stay with us. The question of the day. All right, Celtics, Jazz. Should the Jazz get in on this? Make a trade? What do you think? Jaylen Brown, yay or nay? We'll get to that next. Stay with us.
This is Scotty G and Coach Tim LaCombe.
Joining us now, it is Kurt Heelan, NBC Sports ProBasketballTalk.com.
You mentioned Walker Kessler, and what do you make of that? What do you read between the lines, I guess?
This is, look, it sucks to be a restricted free agent in the modern NBA because your leverage is largely gone if the team that has your rights lets it be known they're going to re-sign you, which is rightfully what Utah's doing. Does it drive down his market? Yeah, that's kind of the point too. But the reality is they're not letting him go. They can match and force a sign and at worst force a sign and trade and get back other things they want. So I think this is the agent trying to, man, we're not happy. At the end of the day, the sides will come to a number and agree to it. And if he's really frustrated, you push for a shorter deal. You try to get back on the market sooner, and maybe Danny's good with that, and you figure something out.
Catch Scotty G and Coach weekdays from 10 to 2. Presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
We all have routines. I'm Jabron, and with diabetes, mine was finger sticks. Sometimes I skip them because they hurt. The Freestyle Libre 3CGM changed that. It gives me glucose insights without finger sticks. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
Finger sticks are required if your glucose alarms or readings do not match symptoms, or when you see check blood glucose symbol for the first 12 hours. The views expressed should not be used for medical diagnosis or treatment as a substitute for professional medical advice. Individual circumstances may vary. For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Just top.
Join the KSL Sports Zone at JCW's in American Fork for the NHL Draft Roundtable today from 2 to 6 at 580 East State Street. Question of the morning. Do you want the Utah Jazz to make a run at Jaylen Brown? Celtics taking calls, lots of speculation. Portland, New Orleans, Atlanta, Utah. Tyson, he's an MVP candidate that plays great defense. You need to make that phone call and see what it takes. But I don't see one on a roster to get that deal done without including DP plus other players and picks.
Well, they're not going to trade Darren Peterson.
Right.
I think they do have enough to get it done, though.
They do. It's just, do they like it? I think they have enough assets. They're not that poor.
And I have been informed that Austin has a good relationship with Jaylen Brown. Obviously, they were together for many years. So I don't think there's anybody denying Jaylen Brown's talent. But I wonder when guys are in really good situations, at least from a distance, in a winning situation with a passionate fan base, a historic fan base, as historic as it gets in any sport for that matter, and you find yourself unhappy. Sean Marion for the Suns back when. I always wonder, why do you always seem unhappy?
You're in Phoenix. You're making
and Steve Nash is getting you the
$20
ball.
million, and Steve Nash is looking to pass the ball.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're not happy there,
right?
You're not going to play with someone better than an
65,
MVP.
70 in the winter.
70 degrees in the winter, and you're making big money.
Yeah.
What's left?
Right. And what are you looking for?
And when he moved on, he was never as good. I mean, you look back now, his career's done. That was his
So
best
it makes
years.
you wonder what's going on there. And I have no particular insight beyond what everybody else has. And, you want to be the man. Okay, well, the man involves ego, right? And to this day, Pippen seems irritated that he won 6 titles. Huh? And good for you. You went to the soccer game last night, but you come off really looking dumb. And who wants that? You know, your life is short, your NBA career is short, and if you're going to be moaning about that just seems really red flaggish. It's like I can come in here and for me personally, given my talents and what I'm about in life, I have the greatest job literally that I could accomplish. Unless my name was the same name as somebody else who made it in sports administration. But it's not. I come from a janitor, right?
If you were Patrick Kinahan Colangelo.
Whoever it might be,
yeah. You might be running the Suns.
Right. And on and on. Yeah. And that's not who I am. It's not who either of any of the three of us are. We've had to make it on our own. So the point I'm making is there might be one or two things, like Lloyd Cole really gets under my skin. But I let it go. You know what I mean?
No, you seem to be letting it go.
Because for every one negative, and having to see Lloyd every day is a negative, that there's
10 positives.
99 positives.
Oh, 99.
Well,
wow. Tremendous
100%.
Ratio. Tremendous ratio.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So, I put up with them, and away we go. It's just, that's the way I think you should look at it. So with Jaylen Brown makes me wonder. And also, too, Tim Lacombe and I were discussing this on draft night down at JCW's there at 106th. And I want to see this team as a collection go. I don't want to see another move. We got our guys. Let's see what Will Hardy and his guys can do with these guys.
Look at you. Hector Perez is sitting in his car nodding, going, PK's my guy. Hector says, if we didn't just get DP, I'd say yes. But we have a solid core now, and I want to see what they can do. Plus, the price tag has got to be high. And that's the thing that cools me to this, is I'm hearing the reported price tag. I think they're going to have to give up Markkanen, but the Celtics are trying to reinvent themselves down the line. So say, how many draft picks? Because if you were saying it was Markkanen and, okay, they play similar positions and Markkanen actually makes less money, so the Celtics get a little cap relief. If it's a straight-up deal, it saves them $10, $11, $12 million bucks a year. Mm-hmm. But they're going to be out there demanding like 4 draft picks. You're like, hey, now you're starting to get taken to the cleaners here. I mean, you're going to want to replenish your roster with young guys going forward too, and they're going to want draft picks and they're going to want swaps. Now, maybe it's all just talk, and that's where the question is: should they make a run? Yeah, make a run, but you can't get taken to the cleaners here. You're going to have to replenish your roster. You need some of these draft picks. If the number of picks in that doesn't come down, I mean, for the money perspective, you've got to give up Jackson or Markkanen to get Brown. The deal's not going to work.
Well, it's Markkanen.
It's a Markkanen. It is, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be like for like.
Yeah, and do we really know that Jaylen Brown is a better player than Markkanen? Now, the resume is no question it's better.
But when Markkanen gets in a good situation, what does he do?
He hasn't. This will be the first one.
We can probably sit here and come up with a bunch of, it would absolutely be the best situation he's been in by miles.
So let's see what he can do. Because he's got enormous talent.
Some people in that situation, it elevates their game even more. And some people, no, they were getting stats on bad teams, but they can't help you in a conference final the way you want. And that's, for the Celtics now, it's all about building a team for the conference final and the final. They went out early this year, and it was a big disappointment. They botched the 3-1 lead, but it was weird with Tatum coming back late in the year. But you look at what they've been doing.
He missed games in the playoff, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And you look at what they've been doing, like they are minimum a conference final team, and then can they win there and can they win in the NBA Finals? They've got one title. They have been in the hunt multiple times, and they should be in the hunt next year and the year after. Can he get you over the top or not? Now, the Celtics, and this is what everybody else around the league, whether it's the Jazz or the Blazers, the Hawks or whoever, has to remind him is like, well, you don't make the deal. Are you really going to get that far? Because to your point, has it soured? Is it too far down the Sean Marion track? Maybe they can't do what they've done because there's zero chemistry and it's my turn to take a shot and that stuff isn't healthy.
If I were Boston, I would want the Jazz to make the deal. Because Markkanen's got a world of talent, and every time you're in a new relationship, you always put your best foot forward.
Honeymoon.
Right. He comes in, he's going to come in trying to get along. If you reversed it and say Jaylen Brown was here and Jerry Curl was over there, if you brought Brown to the Celtics in the 26-27 season, he'd be on his best behavior.
Honeymoon.
Right.
Yep.
You don't start to whine until you get the credibility to be able to whine. Right? That's the way it works. So with that in mind, if you got marketing, you'd be getting someone who would be wanting to put his best foot forward. And I'm not sure, maybe I'm off base on this, but I'm not sure there's a big talent difference between Jaylen Brown and marketing. And I recognize Brown has a better resume. There's no question, because he's been able to be in a winning situation to flourish in that way. Marketing, they've been trying to lose. They sit him. He has an injury or two. And I don't know that marketing, and maybe that first part of the first year when they had the All-Star game here, we saw a little bit of what he can do, or maybe a lot of it. But I still think his best ball is ahead of him. And that's what I want to see. It's like we've been with this guy now for 4 years. I want to see what he can do on a team that is pedal to the metal, trying to win every single game. There's no reason trying to lose any game this year. Obviously they will, but there's no reason to, whereas before there were 4 years worth of it, and it culminated in getting Garen Peterson. So what can he do in these situations where it's a win, not virtually at all costs? I don't think a regular season is. Playoffs are more so. And I want to see what he can do in the postseason. He's never played in a postseason game. He's been in the league 8 years, 9 years.
It's crazy.
5 years, 6 years.
He's played the most games in the NBA among the active players. Most games without playing a playoff game.
Right. And it sure was tantalizing in a limited 2 games back in February to see these two 6'10", 6'11", 7-foot guys doing what they can do, and they can do so much. There's stuff they can't do, yeah, I get it, but they can still do a lot of different things and cause matchup nightmares for pretty much every team in the league. Not just some, but every team.
And I get your point about talent. He's averaging 25, 26 points a game. He's 7 or 8 rebounds a game. I mean, there's this thought he could be a better rebounder. You know, how do you get to double digits?
I'm sure he could.
Right. But all of this, like, will he be a better defender and a better rebounder in a winning situation?
That's what I want to see. We've been watching him basically in AAA the last 4 years. Mm-hmm. Now I want to see what he can do at the big club.
There's actually, in San Diego, they use the term quadruple A, which they're not in anymore. They're spending money. But there was a time when they weren't. They're just like, hey, they put like 15 quadruple A guys on this roster. That's what they are. They're a quadruple A team headed for 72 and 90. And so Markkanen has been stuck in that quadruple A, man. Yeah, you're not in AAA, you're not in the minors, but you're not really in the bigs trying to win either. You're stuck in this, whatever this is.
And there's no question he's got big league talent. I mean, everyone can see it.
You don't go for 25 or 26 points a game, which he's done in a couple of his first year and this most recent year, without having some serious skills.
But certainly I would have conversation because what level of desperation are the Celtics in? And it's compared to what other teams are offering. I mean, the Celtics need to have, as much as possible, a bidding war for their guy.
Yep.
And who can give you the best deal possible? I mean, they did it when they traded Gobert and Mitchell. Ainge did it. What is the best that I can get? And that takes a little bit of time to figure it out. And now we're in that shopping, dealing season, like Christmas in that way.
So if we're Markkanen and 2 first-round picks, or Markkanen, a first-round pick, and a pick swap, I can see doing that. When I hear 4, I'm thinking no. Now, a lot of people think they're going to be a second player. Kelly's like, well, it's interesting, but we'd have to get rid of Keontae. Then we could dump DP to point guard, which is where he wants to play.
I'm not giving up Markkanen and George.
I agree. No, totally agree.
He's not.
I'm not giving up 2 of your starters.
No. He's not that good.
Completely. And then Del Toledo says, yeah, Markkanen and then sign and trade Kessler. Again, no. Not giving up 2 of the starters. I'd rather see the group together than see that. I'm not that desperate to see Jaylen Brown here. I think he's really good. I'm with you. It's a little bit of a red flag. He's not happy in Boston. But if it were perfect, he wouldn't be available. So to a certain degree, if you're going to make a move like this, you have to stomach a little of something. There's going to be some doubt. There's going to be some question mark, and you got to figure out how to smooth it out.
Not necessarily. I mean, they got Jaren Jackson, and I don't think he has baggage.
Well, I think in his case, the baggage is he's probably a $35 or $40 million player, and you got to pay him $50. That, I think, is the deal there.
But that's not baggage. That's just...
There's a downside to the deal. There's something you got to accept. I mean, when I brought it up with Geltzler, is he really a $50 million player? Geltzler went right to, if he wasn't a $50 million player, he wouldn't have been available. The Grizzlies gave him too big a deal.
If you want to win, you're going to have to overpay.
Yes. You're going to have to. There's always going to be something. There isn't. It's hard to believe you can fall into some perfect deal.
But I don't think that's an issue. It's not an issue for the 26-27 season.
I think the issue for the 26-27 season is they will get to the playoffs, but they will be playing a lot of guys with no playoff experience, and that will bite them. And it will bite them sooner rather than later.
Right. So then we got the 27-28 season then. Then that takes care of that.
Then you start to see if the finances start to bite them.
Yeah, but that's down the line. That's for every team, every winning team. You want to be in that situation because that means you're winning.
I'd like to have a better chance of winning before you hit that situation.
And who's to say they haven't? Why? I'm not putting any ceiling on this team.
Maybe
You've already got them bombing in the playoffs and bombing in the playoffs next year.
And that will involve guys without a lot of playoff experience playing at a high level, which
just like
can happen.
Oklahoma City did,
and
just
San
like
Antonio.
San Antonio did.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take my chances on that. After 4 friggin' years of no playoffs and then losing in the second round with the guys who didn't like each other and all that stuff, I'd rather see, if I lose in the conference final, I lose in the conference final. That's sure a heck of a lot better than what's been going on around here lately.
And if they were to make the Jaylen Brown deal, and we won't know until we see what the terms are, but there's a decent chance that the Jazz would be taking on more salary and would be running into that situation I just spoke of sooner, not later.
Why are you so hung up on the salary?
Because they're going to need to add another player or two, and are they going to have the money to do it?
Yes.
Maybe. We'll see.
They're lacking money?
See about that willingness to pay the second apron. We'll see when we get there.
I guarantee you there is not one fan listening to us who has any idea what the crap the second apron means. So we're talking about stuff that fans aren't interested in.
I think they know that it means your team stops acquiring players.
That's it. They're done. So they only have, what, do they got 5 players? 6 players? What do they have? They can't acquire players anymore. That doesn't make any sense.
The veteran players who tend to make a difference. You know what I was getting at.
I want to talk about ball.
Okay. Talk about ball. But
that's, I think, what the fans want to talk about.
Follow the money.
You got 87 podcasts. Go do a money podcast and then get your 4 people who listen to it, and then you can go break that down. Fans want to talk about how is the team going to win. They want to talk about the second apron.
By adding some veteran players they may not be able to afford.
Why not?
It's about $210 million.
No. I mean, what does it mean? You have to pay to win. Nothing in this world worth getting is cheap. Nothing. And if you get it, it's going to break down, so it's not going to be worth it. I've already accepted it. I've told you 1,000 times. That the money is what it is. And this guy couldn't be... Every time these guys get signed, that's an untradeable contract. And you love to say, it's an issue until it isn't. Well, every one of these dudes, Russell Westbrook has been traded 14 times. So you can come up with ways around it. And that's what they're paid for. I want them to win ball games. And I'm going to talk... Jaren Jackson has played 2 games, and I already got to worry about 2029. That drives me nuts. Can he at least... Let's get to where he plays 5 games, and then we'll worry about 2029. Can we do that?
You can do whatever you want.
Fans, what do you want? You want to be all pissy because Jaren Jackson makes a lot of money, and what are they going to do in 2029? Do an Insta poll. Are we worried about what Jaren Jackson can do as a player, or are we worried about his salary in 2029?
DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Maroon.
Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's room of choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
We all have routines. I'm Jabron, and with diabetes, mine was finger sticks. Sometimes I skip them because they hurt. The Freestyle Libre 3C GM changed that. It gives me glucose insights without finger sticks. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
Finger sticks are required if your glucose alarms or readings do not match symptoms, or when you see check blood glucose symbol for the first 12 hours. The views expressed should not be used for medical diagnosis or treatment as a substitute for professional medical advice. Individual circumstances may vary. For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
The KSL Sports Zone of Beehive Meals are honoring people that impact youth sports in our communities. Nominate the youth sports volunteer you know for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. KSLSports.com/contest, and listen every Thursday afternoon to Jake and Ben for the winner. It's the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week.
Get out of here.
We were talking yesterday about BYU raising their profile with A.J. Dybantsa. How much does it think you matter when you're sitting there, it's the World Cup, and Puka Nacua is standing next to Ashton Kutcher? Go here, launch your dreams, NFL, NBA. How quickly do you change your place in the pecking order of college sports? As college sports changes a lot all at once, but some things remain constant. I mean, Ohio State's still a big deal. USC, Notre Dame, Alabama, LSU, still big deals.
So what are you
How much
asking?
do they change the pecking order? There's a BYU guy, big old celebrity LA moment. You're in a luxury suite with a Hollywood star at the U.S. World Cup game, and you're on TV. It just, to me, it just reminded me is when they cut to him for a few seconds of us talking about A.J. Dybantsa. It's like, you can go to BYU, you can be the number one pick in the NBA draft. It's a whole world we didn't really hear that much of. It was a big deal when Jim McMahon and Steve Young made it big, but then for a while nobody made it big after that. And it seems like now we're seeing Cougar athletes make it big in a way I don't think we have a lot of comparisons for.
Well, for Puka Nacua, and this is a serious issue, he needs to maintain, what am I looking for?
He needs to maintain a level of maturity and steadiness, not be caught up in drama and nonsense.
What are you known for?
Scandal. Right, exactly. But just standing, I think, look at her standing, standing, whatever, at a World Cup game.
He's an enormous talent.
Yeah. And the Rams are a massive stage, and, they literally played that game in the stadium he plays in the town he lives in now, So
as long as he's doing the things that are right.
Yeah, which that was. And you're right, about the other stuff has got to stop. But it's just.
But, people make mistakes. And so, as long as you make a mistake and learn from it and move on and make your life better, Max Hall didn't exactly bring himself or the people around him a good, whatever I'm looking for, publicity.
There wasn't a ton of glory there.
But, he's worked hard to
get to a better place in life.
That's what matters. Right. We're all going to make mistakes. It's just to what level. And once you make them, the serious, Max Hall obviously has made some serious ones, but he's worked hard to get, and people love that. The redemption stories are awesome. And we all want to see that, whoever it might be, wherever it might be, whoever it is. We want to see people be able to reclaim their lives and get going there. So you got to be careful on that. But I think BYU football has been a brand for a good while, and I don't necessarily think you need to have superstars year after year. People know of BYU football. That's a fact. It's BYU basketball that has been something that is been crazy to see the development to these types of players. And, the Mark Cuban thing, any form of publicity is good. And that's taken to the extreme. I don't necessarily agree with that. Obviously, the Kobe Bryant issue in Colorado was all sorts of publicity, and none of it was good. And I disagree that any, but I think he was trying to make a point.
Most.
rather than being literal about it. So, who was it who said our second team, Sarkisian? I don't think he was being literal that our backups can beat your starters. I think he was making a point that, we play a tougher schedule, blah, 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 that type of thing. So, sure, yeah, seeing out there. But is Puka Nacua really represented as a BYU guy?
That probably depends who you talk to. I mean, you're the king of once they go to the pros, they're no longer an ASU guy, and it doesn't matter. To some people, that stuff matters a lot. But to other people, I mean, the NFL is just such a bigger brand. The Rams are a bigger brand. He's an NFL star. I mean, how many Rams?
Yeah, he's an amazing player.
Right. And so I think they can use that in recruiting, and I think they probably do.
Well, they do, yeah. You go to the basketball facility, and you see huge murals. Of former players. Yeah, so tout that. I mean, BYU didn't do that as much. Now they've got more people retired. They put, for a while there, they didn't have the bowl accomplishments and the seasonal accomplishments. Now they've got the bowls up there. Tout your history individually, but that's two different things. What the public receives as acknowledgement and whether they receive it or acknowledge it or not, who cares? I mean, you should care, but it's more about you put your best foot forward. As they clearly knew that or were prepared for Dybantsa being number one.
Right.
Because they sent out the release within seconds.
It's ready to go.
As they should.
Yep.
You just had, and even if it doesn't amount to anything, well, that's another story. But in the moment, it was huge.
You got to shout it out.
And they hit the button on that on send within seconds, as they should.
You don't know who's going to hear it, how they're going to hear it, how they're going to take it, but you got to shout it out.
Right.
Right.
And they did. And the great thing about AJ is if you ask him about BYU, he's got no problem talking about it. And he'll mention it glowingly. AJ Dybantsa is the biggest PR machine by a non-LDS guy since Jim McMahon. And let's call it like it is with Jim McMahon. Not like it is now, because eventually he, I don't want to say grew up, but
mellows out.
He became a middle-aged guy and then moved into the final portion of his life. Well, in the beginning, he's mooning helicopters and he's all caught up.
Character.
He's
a character.
Being a figure. Well, AJ Dybantsa hasn't done any of that. When he speaks of BYU, it's not, well, the best thing about, and I don't know if you ever said this, but I'm using this as an example. The best thing about BYU was seeing it in my rear view. AJ has done nothing along those lines. So you could argue that he is the most positive thing to happen in terms of expounding the BYU brand by a non-Latter-day Saint in the history of the athletic department.
That argument is there to be made. You start thinking about the other
strong argument.
Yeah, you start thinking about the other people who are that high profile. Church member. I'm clicking through. And Yak hasn't jumped in with anybody.
Or eventually church member.
I was going to say, there are people that were non-members have joined. To PK's point, who have never joined the faith.
Yeah, he's only 19 years old, so I mean, who knows?
Well, sure, but
he's just been a shining example that BYU and all of their athletic endeavors needs to hold up as an example.
DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Coming up, 8 o'clock hour, David Locke will join us. Radio voice of the Utah Jazz is here at 8:30. What will the Jazz do next? Should they pursue Jaylen Brown? What do you think of draft night? Plenty of questions for David. Stay with us.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Just top.